Hi there, I'm Pearl. I work at the Centre on the Raising Expectations program, which is all about supporting young people with an out of home care experience to access and achieve at TAFE and uni. And today we're going to be talking about how to apply to study. So it's a very exciting time figuring out how and when and what you're interested in studying. And there's a few different ways that you can do that. So we want to chat about just briefly how to set up a VTAC account today, but there are other ways that you can apply to study, including applying directly to a TAFE or a university through their website, or you can go in person to also fill out an application form. But today we're going to talk about using VTAC because you can actually apply to multiple TAFEs and universities at once, and you can also apply for multiple different courses at once, which is why VTAC is such a great system to use. VTAC also manage applications for scholarship programs and also something called the Special Entry Access Scheme, or SEAS, and you can see it on the webpage at the bottom right there, which is an application process that enables students to identify any experiences that they've had during their life that may have impacted on their study and also their results. So that can help you get access to more courses. Something worthwhile mentioning, but we will create a separate video about the SEAS application process shortly, especially for our care experience students. So let's get into how to set up an account on VTAC. You can see we're on the homepage here. There is a button right on the homepage called Create an Account. And if you click on that, it will take you to the account registration page. You will need to accept the terms and conditions and also the privacy policy before moving on to the next page. Just pointing out that I am using a demo page here, so it might look slightly different to what yours looks like, but pretty much the same. You can also set up a demo account if you want to have a practice before making your real account. The form itself does not take too long to complete. There's just a few things that we can chat through today that may be of interest. So basic things like your name. There's also a space here to share another name that you've used while you're studying at either in high school or at TAFE or university. And it's important to share that here so they can link your student profiles. It asks you information about your gender and your date of birth. The next page asks questions about your citizenship. So what kind of citizen you are, if you are one, your country of birth, what language you use or prefer at home. And then it asks you something about the unique student identifier, or a USI. So a USI is a mandatory student identifier for every single person that studies, and it's a lifelong number. So it's basically a student number that you'll have for forever, and it links all of your enrollments and engagements with different education institutions under one number. And it's really easy to get one if you don't have one yet, or find one if you've lost it. So there's actually a link here on the bottom of that question that says get one now. And if you click that, it takes you to the government's website. So it's www.usi.gov.au. And basically, this is a website that you can use to register a new USI. So you can click on this blue button here, or the purple one if you've lost your USI and you need to find it. It's a fairly straightforward process, so it shouldn't take you too long before you're able to get back to the form, enter in your USI here, and proceed to the next step. The next question is asking us whether we're a current Year 12 student or we are not. So for the purposes of doing a demo, I've said we're not in Year 12, but in the case that you are in Year 12 and you're using VTAC, you would click yes, and then you would enter your student ID number here. There's some examples of the different types of student ID numbers across the states. So the Victorian one is here. That might remind you about what it looks like. But as I said, for the purposes of this, we're going to say no. And we move to the next section, which asks us information about our residential address. So I've used our office one here. And I've said that we've only been there for a month, and that's absolutely fine. So it can be as little or as long as you like in that section. You also have the option to give a different mailing address. So if you want to receive mail somewhere else, you are welcome to put in an address there that you will just get mail sent to. Then basic information like your phone number and your email address. And make sure that you enter it in twice so you don't have any mistakes there. And the last part here is making a PIN. So it's 4 numbers. You don't do 1, 2, 3, 4, but that's what I've done for this demo account. But that will enable you to log back into VTAC at any time using just a simple PIN. If you do get locked out of your account, you'll need to answer some security questions, and they can be a little bit tricky to come up with, but my advice is to think about something that's unique to you and also something that you may remember in a few months or even a year's time. So for an example here I've got is first school, but also another one that I've put in here is name of your favorite bird. It should be breed of your favorite bird there. And my answer is eagle. So once you create a couple of security questions, you move to the review stage, which is basically just all of the information you have entered onto one page where you can check that you have had no mistakes, that everything looks good. And once that is done, you can create your account. Because this is a demo, it won't move to the next stage. So that would be the end of the registration process. And then you would move to course selection, which is a really exciting next step. We'll cover that in our next video. If you do have any issues or you need help from us, you can reach out to Raising Expectations anytime through our website or our social media, and we can support you with the process. Good luck, everyone.